Hello. I could eat about 1.5 million of these.
Well, nobody's perfect.
Welcome to the It's a Drama podcast.
Daddy, I love him.
My mother thanks you.
If you can't say something nice.
All right, Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up.
Hello and welcome to the It's a Drama podcast. I'm Liz.
And I'm Brian.
And today, it was very cheerful.
Yes.
Today we're going to be talking about England, about the things that we love about England and the things that we really can't stand. That sounds a bit harsh, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
The reason we are bringing you this podcast is because we're in Italy at the moment, house sitting. If you follow our travels, you will know that. And we've just left the UK. We just had a little drama with our car. You can go back to the previous episode and hear all about that. We've just left the UK, England, and people said to us, what was it like going back? You know, did you have any regrets, or did you wish that you hadn't left, or how did it feel? So we thought it would be a really fun episode just to go through.
Yeah, it is, because it's one of those things. It was a bit of a rush to get back to England and everything like that, wasn't it? So we kind of just like sort of fell into England as such.
Yeah, we did, Bri.
Yeah,
we fell into England,
we just kind of fell into England.
And then we fell bloody well out of it as well.
Yes, we did a little bit, yes.
We fell out with England. So what we've done is we've put together, because we're very structured and very organised. Now we've come to Italy, that's it. This is a new us now. This is going to be so slick, this show. We've put together 12 points that we love about England and 12 points that we flipping can't stand.
Yep.
So are you ready, Brian?
Every country's got theirs, haven't they? I mean, you could do 12 points by Italy.
Do you know what you're doing, Brian? Do you know what you're doing now?
Yeah, I'm backtracking.
Yeah,
aren't I?
I do this all the time.
Yeah.
And this is a really interesting point. When you start not slagging off your country that you're
it's
born,
your place of
I
birth,
know,
isn't it?
Brian, I
It's
know,
just like, it's
I
where
know.
your roots are, isn't it? Like, you know, but
I
you
know
just
where
think,
you're coming from. I know exactly
come on,
how
people.
you feel.
Yeah.
But we've got to do it, Brian.
I know. That's
got
why
to be honest.
It's
haven't we?
interesting. That's why. So yeah.
But yeah.
Because otherwise, if you don't tell people, no one's ever going to know, are they?
No.
So yeah.
Right. Number one that I absolutely love about England is the people and their need to please.
Sorry.
Exactly.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I just love it. I absolutely flipping love it.
Yeah.
Just that whole apologetic, I don't know. We've just got this way that we just want to make people feel comfortable, and yeah.
But it can go both ways, as in, yes, I understand about the apologetic side of things. Oh, sorry, but yeah, all right, yeah, we can do this, do that for you. But they can be bloody nasty at times.
Hey. We're on the positive.
Oh, right, okay.
This is the positive.
Oh, this is
and
the
then,
positive.
Yeah, because what I've done,
right.
I've done like well, didn't you know? Are you not listening? Pay attention.
Yes.
This
Not
is the
everybody's apologetic, that's all I was trying to say.
No, but this is the positive side, and then the negative side.
All
Like,
right.
for instance, we went to this lovely little cafe. I can't remember what the village was called. When we were waiting to pick the car up.
Tenterton.
Was it?
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not the same one. Not the one I'm talking about. Not the one where I got the BLT. Not that one.
Eh?
Not the one where we had the BLT.
Was
Anyway,
it not?
no.
You said waiting to have the car picked up from who?
No, it wasn't that one. It was the village with a little strip with all the old houses either side. You know, not like in England at all. That narrows it down then, doesn't it? You know, the one with the old houses.
Let me think about which one that was.
Anyway,
Yeah.
So we're in that cafe doing that work. Do you remember when we were sitting up to the window and we were doing the work?
Yes, this is when, yes.
And there was a couple next to me, a couple of
This
ladies
is in the
next to
Cotswolds.
me. In the Cotswolds, that's it. There's a couple next to me, and they came in. I could hear them. Oh, what are you going to have? I think I'll have the jacket potato with prawns and mayonnaise. Oh, that's another thing as well.
I'll have the calamari.
Prawns and mayonnaise, Bri.
Yeah.
Anyway, they ordered the jacket potato with prawns and mayonnaise. They had a hoo-ha about what they were going to have and na-na-na and what tea shall we have. And I was just there pretending to do my work and listening. And they order it, and then they went up to the counter, ordered it, and came and sat back down. About 5 minutes later, the man who owns the cafe, or the chef, I don't know which one it was, but a man comes out. And honestly, Bri, he was falling over himself with an apology about the fact that they'd run out of prawns. And I'm so sorry. Oh, ladies, I know how disappointing this must be to you. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Can I offer you, how about a little bit of chicken mayonnaise? Oh, no, we don't want chicken. Well, how about, I'll tell you what. And he was giving all these options, and this maybe egg mayonnaise. And he goes, and tell you what, ladies, I want you to have the drinks on me. And they were like, no, you don't need to. No, I want you to have the drinks on me.
I'll have a margarita, please.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I just thought, oh, I love it, you know?
Yeah, I do love that thing. I mean, they both were sitting there on TripAdvisor at the time, but, you know.
Yeah. Ready with their fingers hovering
Yes.
over the rate button.
Free what?
Oh, it's horrible, that, isn't it?
Oh, it's the
can't
way
stand
things
that.
going nowadays, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Can you imagine if we'd have had TripAdvisor when we had our cafe,
Oh,
Brian?
no, yeah.
You'd have just been on
I'd
pins
have
all
lost
the
all
time.
the people, probably.
You would.
Yeah,
You'd just been on pins all the time.
yeah.
But yeah, so that was the thing. And another time I was in a second-hand shop and I was waiting to try on that blue swimsuit that I bought. You know that one?
Yes.
Flipping bargain that was. How much was that supposed to be? $70.
It was £70.
Yeah. And it
Yeah.
was £12 in the charity
Yeah.
shop. Never been worn.
Still had
all
the label,
the labels
the
on.
original label on
Yeah.
it, didn't it? Yeah.
Anyway, I was waiting and there was one changing room. It was a second-hand shop. And I was waiting to go in and there was a woman in the changing room and
Yeah.
I could hear her with her daughter and she was going, hurry up, there's someone waiting. Come on, quickly.
Yeah.
Just hurry. You know, and I just thought, again, it's
Chill
just
out.
that. No,
Yeah, I know,
no,
but
Brian, not
yeah,
chill
but
out.
it is though, because I remember when I lived in England, that's what you do because you think someone's waiting for you. They're gonna. It's just like, who's waiting for you?
I don't know. I just think it's that lovely need to keep everyone happy.
Yeah.
We're just
Yeah.
a massive people pleasers,
Well, yeah.
aren't we?
Yes. Yeah.
Right. So
Yes.
number one of the things that we can't stand.
Oh, right. So we're doing it that way, are we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you think that's a good idea?
Yeah. Okay. I thought we were going to do all the good things and then be positive.
Well, no,
and
because
then
that'll be a bit negative,
storm
wouldn't it?
into the.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you got to
I
keep
do
these
think-
people waiting.
Yeah,
you know?
but
You're just like, you
I
know.
did think about doing it that way, but then that would just be like half a positive podcast, and then okay.
But everyone would just zip forward to the last 20
Yeah,
minutes.
yeah. So the thing I can't stand, and I'm sorry if this is going to upset people, but right, oh God, it's this question that everyone asks you, which is, "Are you all right?" Did you notice, Bri?
Yeah, but that goes back to people pleasing, doesn't it?
Yes, and that's why I put it together because it's sort of like a double-edged sword,
Yeah, it
and that's
is,
why
yeah.
I thought about
Yeah.
it. But it's just that,
You're all right. You're okay.
yeah. Oh, you're all right. You look a little bit. It's
Yeah.
just that.
See, now if you're from America, you won't understand what that means, really.
No,
because
you
that's
won't.
it's like a slang word. You're all right. It just means how are you doing?
Yeah, but
Is it,
right.
are you okay?
It used to be when you said, we've talked about this on our New Zealand podcast loads of times.
Yeah, we have. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I used to, that's what we say, but you say it like this. You say, "Hi, are you all right?" That's
Yeah.
how you say it.
Mhm.
And that's how it always was.
Yeah.
But it's changed now. Now it's changed
The
to,
tone has changed.
yeah, it has.
Yeah.
And it's changed from, "Hiya, are you all right?"
Yeah.
Hasn't it?
Yeah, but it has. Yeah. Yeah.
Did anyone say that to you?
No. Do you know what? No one asked me how I was anyway.
Oh,
So,
here we go.
There we go.
No. Do you know why? Do you know what? Do you know what? No
We're in
one.
Italy, by the way. If you can hear the church bells,
Oh,
it's not a church. It's
yeah.
actually a fort. It's an ancient fort, but it
Sounds
has got a little
gorgeous.
chapel in it, hasn't it?
We're sitting on the terrace of our Italian house sit,
Yes.
and it overlooks the Mediterranean. Honestly, you won't be able to believe it. It's just
Yeah.
all these orange roofs, and like Bryce said, the big fort down there to the left, down
Yeah.
below us, and these
The
bells. that
marina
keep
and the
ringing.
harbour, and it's a
Yeah.
working harbour as well with fishing boats and ferries coming in and out, isn't it?
Yeah, and we're here
Porto
for the
Santo
next 6 weeks.
Stefano.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So what was I just saying then? Oh yeah, the reason no one ever asks you, "Are you all right?" is because you have this what's the word? You know, constant look of happiness on your face.
It's called a smile.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. It's just that there does seem to be a need to find something to have a little bit of a drama about.
Like a bit of a dig. Oh, yeah. Oh, that happened to me.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. You're all right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I've had a bit of a shit day. And it's just
Yeah.
like you keep saying things like that, then you keep going to having shit days.
Yeah, and stop swearing, Bri.
Okay.
And I found as well, I've just noticed that a couple of times now you've just cursed on my podcast. On mine and Sunny's podcast.
Clean and not explicit.
Yeah. Oh, well, I've just lost my train of thought now, telling you off. But yeah, it's just that need to. I just feel as if it's like a need to have something to have a moan about.
Yes.
Maybe.
Hello.
Right. Number 2 thing that I absolutely love, and I know you do as well, because you've got one of these, is the accent. Oh, I
Yes.
love it. I
Yeah.
really, really love it.
I do love all the accents. I must admit, even Scottish and Irish and Welsh.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I know this is supposed to be about England, but the one thing that really stood out to me, and we weren't even in England at the time, we were in Venice in that bar, do you remember?
Yes, yeah.
And there was this bunch of girls sitting next to us. We'd had a bit of a hectic day, and it had been a bit of a, actually I told you last week, it's a bit of a full-on day.
Bit of a sweaty day.
The sweaty day in Venice,
Yeah,
wasn't it, Bri?
It was.
A few rows there. And we sat at this bar, didn't we, down on the canal.
Yeah.
And there was this bunch of girls next to us to the left, about 5 girls. And they were only about, 23, 24?
Oh, yeah, they weren't that old as in such,
And they were from Wales. Did I tell this story last week?
I can't remember.
Oh, excuse me. Oh, sorry, I hope I didn't tell you this story last week, but they were from Wales, weren't they?
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
And they were asking the couple, the family, they got talking to a family with a young teenager.
What do you have for your breakfast?
Yeah, and they did. And they were like, what do you have for your... Oh, they were from Sweden. The family were from Sweden. That was it. And they were like, oh, you're from Sweden, are you? Like this. And they were saying, yes. And he said, what do you have for your breakfast in Sweden? And I just thought, I just love it.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
I used to hate the Welsh accent. I used to think it was horrible.
I don't know why. I think because they used to come in the cafe and they used to bring their own biscuits and sandwiches in and just ask for a cup of tea for 20 pence.
Yeah.
Because we used to do cheap tea so you could come in and buy something, but they just should bring all the stuff in with them, wouldn't they?
They had a bit of a reputation, didn't they?
And then they go shopping in Bath and spend all the money there instead.
Yeah, but honestly, now I can't get enough of that accent. And the same with all the other accents. And I don't know if that's because we've been starved of the British accent.
It probably is. It's because when you're in New Zealand and maybe you're in a lift or something. I just remember being as an office building and a guy, and again, he was Welsh. No, he was from Bristol, a Bristol accent.
Yeah.
And it just rises above everything. And you tune into it and you're like, and you end up, you just throw a comment to him, didn't know they allowed doozers here in New Zealand, and he just straight away you're chatting, and you're just talking. So it's
because
great.
Although the New Zealand accent, they've got an accent. I don't know if there's anywhere in the world that has as many accents as England and the UK.
I mean, there are accents in New Zealand.
Yeah, there are.
The south to the
variation.
north to Auckland's different to Wellington. It's not as a Kiwi accent. It's when you go into the provinces you get the more.
America's got lots of different accents.
It has, yeah, it really has. Yeah, but it's a huge country. England is a tiny country with a huge amount of accents. From different areas, from Stoke to Newcastle to Liverpool, Manchester.
There's just
you can
something
go
warm about
literally
an accent.
15 miles down the road and they can talk a completely different accent, language almost.
Yeah,
but it's true though, isn't it? Because you look at Lancashire where we grew up. You got Liverpool, Manchester, in that. That area. I know it's Greater Manchester and Merseyside, but they're all within 20 miles of each other. And then you go to Wigan and you go to Darwin, and it's a different accent from Darwin to Wigan to. It's amazing, isn't it?
But they're all lovely. And I know people will say, oh, no, I can't stand, I don't know. I used to think, I can't stand the Birmingham accent. Again, now, it's just, you just...
Oh, yeah, it's just that lovely warm accent.
I love the Birmingham accent.
It's just great. We're in for our tea.
We're getting quite good at accents
I
now,
know,
aren't we,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Right, but number 2, I think the number 2 thing, the thing I can't really be doing with them, we only noticed this right at the last night when we were leaving, and I just thought, do you know what? I can't stand this, is lagerlouts.
Yep.
Lagerlouts, Bri.
Yep.
Tell people what that is if they don't know what
Well,
I
a
mean.
lagerlout is someone who just drinks and just becomes rowdy, and they just always end up shouting at people and shouting with each other. Obnoxious.
Sods, basically.
Yeah, really. And that's the trouble. It's just, that guy in that, you're in a Premier Inn, and, you're right.
Tell the story.
You're right by the Eurotunnel, aren't
Yeah.
you? And then there's 2 vans, camper vans, parked, taking up most of the car park, and you think, where are you staying?
I'm staying in the camper van.
Yeah, but was someone staying in the actual? Did they just book one room each, and so you can then camp in the car park?
Yeah.
I think that's what
a
it
good
was
idea.
about. Yeah, but and these guys, these people from, I don't know, it sounded like Ireland or something like that, wasn't it? It was just, they were just drinking like fishes, weren't they? And just louder and louder, and not only that, there's a little sort of dwarf hedges that go around the
Oh, I thought
the
you were going to
car
say
park.
little dwarf child then.
No, not
I thought
dwarf
you were talking
child.
about the little boy.
I was saying a dwarf hedge. Like it all, nice and prim and proper, just comes up to sort of waist height. And the guy got up, just walked over, around the other side of the hedge and just took a leak.
Yeah.
And you
Started
just think,
weighing all in the hedge, didn't
in the
he?
hedge, and you know, what's
But you know
going
what
on
was
here?
more worrying, Brian?
Yeah.
The family that was sitting next to us, the ones that went and got a McDonald's after they saw us eating our Indian takeaway at the table, because me and Brian wouldn't pay the food prices.
No.
And we went and got one of those Uber.
Was it Uber Eats or
Yeah,
something
Uber
like
Eat
that?
things to bring us
Yeah.
an Indian. And they looked over and they were like, oh, we should have done that. And then they went and copied us and went and got on McDonald's. But that family, they weren't batting an eyelid
No, they weren't.
at the louts.
Yeah.
And I just thought, it's almost as if it's acceptable and it's normal.
But there's just that's what I was about to say before. You know, when we were talking about people, the first thing that we talked about, you know, there's that respect for, sorry for this, sorry for that, doing this and that. And then you get the other end of the spectrum, which is the people that are like that have got no respect for anyone else apart from themselves.
Yeah, but is that because they're just drinking?
No, I don't think it is. I just think it's a mindset. It's that I can do what the hell I want. What are you going to say about it? Because I've got, you know, two brothers and two big guys in there with me that if you're going to say anything, we'll just come stand by you and see if we can put the fear of God at you.
Yeah. And that's the other thing as well, is the guy who, so they had a big group of them and they had this young lad with them and he was no older than 15, was he? And he was drinking a pint. His dad brought a pint of beer out for him. And the guy, the manager comes out and into the beer garden and he's like, if that lad's going to drink, we need to see his ID. And the mum said, oh, he's got ID. And he said, well, I'll need to see it. And she went, yeah, I'll go and get it in a minute. And the manager didn't go, well, go on then.
Yeah.
Because he was intimidated.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of them. And they were just being, like I say, rowdy and obnoxious. And it was just, I don't know, I just thought,
And then they had a huge row afterwards.
Mind you, that was bliss.
Yeah, but it's bliss to listen to. But it's not particularly nice for everybody else, is it? Like you were
there's
kids
only me and you in the
no,
beer
but
garden.
that'd be funny. The whole
Everyone else had gone to bed.
The whole hotel could hear it. Because it was a red hot night and all the windows were open.
Yeah, she was having a go at him to her sister-in-law or something, wasn't it?
They just don't care, do they?
No.
And that's what I'm saying. It's like wash your laundry in public. That's what you're not supposed to do. And it's that respect. You know, you wouldn't hear it in Japan, would you?
No.
You just wouldn't.
And this is not to say, because New Zealand has got a huge drinking culture.
Yeah.
You know, it's got a huge problem with drinking, New Zealand, doesn't it?
Well, it has, yeah.
And this is not to say that people don't get drunk and but there is bri.
Yeah, but but everywhere when you say a drinking, you don't see them falling out of bars anymore.
I was just about to say, no, that's what
I'm saying. It used to be like that.
Yeah, but they've got, there is a reputation in New Zealand that people drink.
They can drink, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know whether I was supposed to say that or not, but why?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, but you go back to people say, 20, 30 years ago, New Zealand, on a Saturday afternoon, you didn't want to go past the White Hart pub or something because they're all coming out and there's brawls in the streets and stuff like that. No different than what it was like in Newquay and Cornwall.
Yeah.
It was, that was just on a Saturday afternoon. It was just be loopy.
And I would imagine that wherever you go in the world, wherever you are, and I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I would imagine that I can only talk about New Zealand because that's where we live, but if you're sitting with a family, like, there aren't many beer gardens as such, are there? But if you're down, I don't know, a social event and everyone's drinking and someone's getting hammered, basically, they just kind of, it doesn't spread out to the rest of everyone else.
It's kind of diffused because there's always a sober guy there and it's just like, come on, off you go.
And that's what was worrying more than anything. It wasn't so much that they were being loud and obnoxious and horrible and, shouting and peeing in the bushes and giving the manager a hard time. It was more that the other family weren't batting an eyelid as if this is just a normal procedure.
Yeah.
Anyway. Right. Number 3 thing that I absolutely miss like mad about England are the bridleways, the public footpaths, the right to roam wherever you want.
Yeah, I mean there is a right to roam as such. I mean there's no such thing as trespassing. There's no real law as called trespassing because it's a civil offence, so the police can't really get involved. So what are you talking about that right to roam? But
where
you can roam on people's properties, is what you're saying.
No, I'm not saying you can roam on people's properties.
What then?
I'm not like, oh yeah, hello, just passing by. No, I just mean, I don't know, you can go on the cliff, you can walk through farmers' fields.
Yeah, but it's mainly because the National Trust coastal walkways and stuff like that's what you're really talking about.
When we walked to the pub that night,
amount of public footpaths across farmers'
and
lands
everywhere we went,
stuff.
there was just like these little signs, bridleway, footpath.
Yeah.
And it's just lovely.
Yeah.
It's just, and they're proper footpaths. They go through gorgeous countryside and lovely fields, and people take their dogs, and it's just, I miss that so much.
No, I do. I miss stuff like that. New Zealand's got lots of places to walk, but it's just not the same. There's a lot of places in New Zealand you just can't take your dog.
No.
Can you, basically.
And this isn't about New Zealand. This is
No,
just about what
you miss.
I miss about
Yeah.
England.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you miss that or not?
Yeah, but that's what we talked about when we were there, wasn't it? It's just like, oh my goodness, you just miss those little green signs that says public footpath, especially if it's not the back of your, only if it's not the back of your house and it's a right of way and you're trying to sell it.
Me and Brian bought this house once. Well, we bought a house in Bath, didn't we? And down at the bottom of the land, it had 3 acres of land because we were very posh then and we had a huge mortgage. It had 3 acres of woodland, and along the bottom was a footpath that everyone used in the road, didn't they, Brian?
Yeah.
And when we bought it, the solicitor said to us, "Listen, you're going to have to cut the access off. Stop that access," he said, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Because otherwise you're not going to be able to resell your property. Is that right?
It was just saying you have no right of way across your land, and you don't want it to become a right of way, because people, once they've walked it for a certain amount of time, they can actually go, "Oh, I've walked this for 15 years uninterrupted, and I'd like a right of way," and actually they can grant a right of way across your land.
So Brian put all these little signs up down there, didn't you, Brian, saying,
"Yeah, piss off.
Do not walk. Do not walk on our land."
Yeah.
And what the people did was just came down and threw stones,
smashed the signs. Yeah,
so that was nice.
Yeah, just got a piece of wood and smashed them off. And I reinstated the fence, and they smashed that down as well.
Yeah,
but
they weren't having any of it,
no,
were they?
And I went round and saw all the people and just said to you, "I'm just letting you know you're not allowed to walk across my land." "Oh, well, I've walked along that for years." And I said, "Well, just to let you know, you're not allowed to." And it's like, "Are you going to stop me?" And I said, "I'm not going to stop anyone, but I'm just letting you know."
Oh, is that what they said? Are you going to stop me?
Yeah.
Oh, like challenging you?
Yes, as if like, "Are you going to stop me?" I mean, it was like, I'm not, I didn't care about, as long as they know that I've said
it's not a very
you're
nice,
not allowed to walk across it, because then you've been challenged.
It's not a very nice welcome, is it, Brian, when you just move
it's
into a
not
road
like,
and people are saying you're going to stop me walking on your land. Anyway, you've just told me that there's no such thing as trespassing.
Exactly.
Well, so
So
what do
you
you mean
can't
then?
stop them.
Well, why did you bother putting those signs up then?
What I'm saying is, you can walk into anybody's property. It's not like Texas where they
You've
can
said this
shoot
before,
you.
and I don't think it's
but
true.
It's very true. That's your brother. He's an ex-policeman. You can't actually call the police and say, "Oh, someone in my garden."
Brian.
The guy will say, "Come on, mate, you think you should go," but they can't actually evict you off it.
I don't know about that.
Honestly, the guy can.
You're a policeman.
The guy, as the homeowner, you can grab hold of them and drag them off your property
you're not allowed to
if
do
you
that.
want.
Not allowed
you
to touch people nowadays,
No,
Brian.
you can on your own property.
No, but they've got this thing now that you're not allowed to touch people. Remember I was telling you about this on the tube?
Yeah.
I said, just be careful you don't touch people, because now it's not like, you're not allowed to just go, "Hi, mate," and put your hand on their shoulder, because now that's something about social touching anxiety
but
or
there's
something.
a difference on your own property. But what I'm saying is, it's a funny law in England. It really is. It's like the squatting rights and all that sort of stuff. It's weird.
Anyway, so bridle ways, footpaths, absolutely lovely.
Yep.
But the thing we can't stand, and we were just like, oh, every time you don't forget about it because it's ingrained in your memory, is how many other people are doing it. How many people are there?
I know, and that's the thing, isn't it? It's very densely populated in lots of places.
Densely what?
Populated. Oh. Tough word to get out. Populate on a Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, it's so busy, and there are places that we went to that there wasn't anyone else there, but I think that's because we were on our own schedule and we were walking down the footpaths at like 3:00 in the afternoon or something.
Yeah.
But I know that guy, when we were staying with Zoe and her husband, they said, "Don't come here at the weekend because it's just full of Londoners trying to get away from London."
Yeah, but that was what it was, because I can't remember the name of the place now where it was. It was the Hams, wasn't it? And they were just saying, people just come out to get the countryside to be there, and so that's what you forget. Like you just think, "Oh, go to that nice little quiet place," and it's just busy with tourists, or just day tourists.
You just forget. You just forget what it's like to be sitting in traffic and standing in, supermarket queues and just being at a park with loads of other people, or a beach with loads of other people. It's just...
that's the only trouble. You move to New Zealand and you're very, very spoiled on things like that. I mean, some people, I like the buzz. It's just like, but I just don't like sitting in my car and you're just waiting in your car, or it's just, I don't know.
We talked about this the other day, didn't we? Because we were talking about the buzz. And that's a really good point, because there's a fine line, Bri, between what were we talking about? We're going to theatre or a restaurant or something, wasn't it? We were saying about going to a restaurant, and you go to a restaurant and it's just buzzing with people. You're waiting to get a table, but there's a really buzzy, alive atmosphere in there.
Everyone talking, and just the feel about it, good music and all that sort of stuff.
But you have to wait for a table.
Yes.
Okay, then what would you rather have, right? If you had the choice, imagine that there's this really, really beautiful restaurant, okay, just absolutely lovely. And you've got the choice of either going and it's just full of like all celebrities and famous people and like just really, you know, fun people to be around.
Yeah.
There's a band there. I don't know, the Eagles or someone like that, someone that you love playing.
Where is this place?
But right, it's just a brilliant restaurant, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Answer this. But the catch is you have to wait in line 3.5 hours for a table, right? That's scenario number one. But then you get to sit down and you're around all these people. Scenario number two, same restaurant, beautiful view, Eagles there in the corner, strumming away, Hotel California, lovely food. There's only 2 or 3 other tables there. It's a bit dead and boring. It's just like, welcome to the Hotel California. But the minute you walk in, the manager goes, oh, Mr. Deacle, here's your table. Which one would you rather have? Go on, which one?
Well, I'd just take the quiet one,
Would
to
you?
be honest, because I wouldn't want to wait 3.5 hours.
No?
Yeah. Can you remember when like Planet Hollywood started in London and it was like 6-hour queues to get in, like, you know, and it was just like, I'm sorry, but it's just burger
But that's
and
what
chips.
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. If you asked me the same question, I would probably go for the first one because there's a big atmosphere
I know,
and it's fun
but
and
if
it's
you
just...
But it's no different than like you say, all right, you know, you're at Universal Studios and, you know, you've got to queue for literally 2 hours or 2 hours. We were in a place. Well, it was actually Disney. And then the time when you go there when there's no one there hardly. And you just literally walk onto the thing.
It's boring.
It's not though,
Yes,
is
it
it?
is,
Because you get
Bri.
to do the fun stuff. for all
No,
of
because
it.
there's no one to laugh at and get off the ride and look at and go, oh my God, that was bad, wasn't it? There's no one to say because we're not just going to talk to each other and go, oh, that was a good ride, wasn't it? Yeah. And then what were you going to say the next time now then? Oh, that was a good ride again, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No, the fun part is getting off and seeing everyone's faces and listening to them screaming and that's what I think.
It is, but it's true. But it's only because, you know, you see this thing of like how much time you spend just waiting, you know, and that's the difference I find. And that's what, you know.
You get a bit moody in queues. See, the thing is, what I tend to do when I'm in a queue, Bri, is I can do some meditation. Or I might do that thing, that yoga thing, you know, where you twist your fingers, your pressure points. Just make the most of your time, Bri, rather than stand there and be angry.
I know, but it's things like, you know, you go to a supermarket in England.
Oh, don't start talking about that because...
All right, is that another point?
Well, go on. What are you going to say then?
Is that on your point?
No, go on. You're all right. Go on.
So, you know, about wasting time, because that's what we're saying, isn't it? Like, you know, it's how long... And you have to go and put a ticket on your car, and then it's a pay and display, so you've got to go and put that back in, and you get an extra ticket. Then, if you remember to take it, then you've got to go into the shop to buy something to get your money back for the car park.
It's stupid, isn't it?
What a waste of life.
I know.
Come on.
Yeah.
It's
absolutely
just
stupid.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then there's queues at the little pay and display machine, and you're just like, I'm waiting here for 4 minutes. And you think, every time you go shopping, it's like, oh, it's just a waste of life. It really is.
Anyway, number 4, the thing that I really love. There's only 6 points, by the way, if you're thinking, come on, get on with it.
Yep.
Number 4 that I really love about England, about the UK, but about England when we were there, is just how humble people are. And I think this comes down again to the needing to please. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just
Humble in what way, though?
Oh, Bri, we went to London, right? We took the kids to see. Actually, we didn't take them to see. They paid for themselves. We all went to London to see. What's the show called? Not Cabaret. Yeah, Cabaret.
It was Cabaret.
Yeah, Cabaret. Oh, and it was fantastic.
What a great
wasn't
show.
it?
Yeah,
it was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
And Tessa, that's her dream role. You know, the one that Liza Minnelli did, and the girl that played this role, I can't even remember the name of the part.
I can't. Scottish girl. She was fantastic.
Yeah,
absolutely brilliant.
And Tessa was just absolutely in awe. And when we came out, we went over to the other side of the road and we were taking photos of the theatre and we're like, oh, you know when you come out of a show and it's been absolutely brilliant and you're like, oh my
just
God,
a
that's
great
amazing.
experience. Yeah,
it was. If you ever get chance to go and see a show in the West End, go and see Cabaret.
Yes,
it was just
it starts
brilliant.
from the queue, and as soon as you get in and you walk in, and they only let you in at certain times, as in, you know, there's like, say, 3 or 4 minutes between the next people that can go in. Because you just walk, and you're walking into the Kit Kat Club.
Yeah.
And they've changed the name of the theatre to the Kit Kat Club, haven't they? Which
Yeah.
is what it was, you know, in Berlin.
Yeah. The whole experience is just, it starts, like you say, from the queue, doesn't it?
Yeah, it just does.
But
It's
what I
great.
mean when I say humbleness, Bri, is
Yep.
so we came out of the theatre and we're taking pictures, and I think it was you that said, let's just wait at the stage door and get there. We had our programme, our brochure.
Yep.
Let's wait at the stage door and get an autograph, which I have never, ever done
No.
in my life before, ever.
Yeah.
Never have we done
No,
that.
we didn't do that sort of thing.
We're not
really,
into
do we?
that.
Yeah,
And
no.
neither was she. She was just like, no.
She's like, don't say anything. But it was, I saw one of the actors come out, and I ran over to her and just said, can I just say, that was absolutely brilliant, because she played the
older lady.
the landlady.
Yeah,
she
the
played,
landlady,
didn't she?
yeah.
Yes, yeah, and she just played a great part. And you know, it's just like, went over, thank you so much, and I said, oh, you know, by the way, we've come over from New Zealand. She just put her head up and went, where's your daughter? And I said, my daughter absolutely loved this show. She said, where's your daughter? And she had to stand there beside the road.
Yeah.
And she walked over, didn't she?
She did,
And it was just
yeah.
so nice for her to come and do that.
And that's
Yeah.
what I'm talking about. So we stayed and then we waited for the main lead to come out, the
Yes.
actress, you know,
Yeah.
that had played the part of the Liza. I can't remember the name of the character. But anyway,
Yes.
you're probably, if you're listening to this and you're a Cabaret
Screaming at
fan,
it.
you'll be screaming now,
Yeah.
won't you? But she came out, the girl, and she was just so humble. And we were
Yeah.
like, you were brilliant. And she's like, oh, really? Oh, thank you so much. And she's like this major star.
I know. Yeah.
And I just thought, I just love that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm getting bitten. That's why
I
I'm
know, you
wiggling
keep
around.
banging the microphone
yeah.
stands.
Well, sorry, Brian,
Yeah.
but I'm getting bitten by
I can
mosquitoes.
just see the levels going bang.
I don't care. I'm getting
Okay.
bitten by
Just
mosquitoes.
makes it very hard to edit.
I don't care, Brian. So, yeah, I'll lift my feet up and you itch my foot.
Okay, thanks.
Well, that's the other option.
Yeah. Just control the way you feel and just stop your
Oh,
itching.
be quiet. But yeah, so humbleness, just that, you know, I was watching an interview with Michael Crawford.
Yeah.
And on Parkinson, remember Parkinson? And it's just that whole, I just love it. I
Yeah.
just love that whole, compared to, and I don't want to annoy people, but compared to big brass America, you know, just that whole, I'm a star, you know, it's just...
I know what you mean. Yeah,
They're just
it is
English,
the,
and they're
it's
just-
the English, and it's that subduedness and keeping the feet.
In fact, she's Welsh.
on. Yeah.
She was Welsh.
No, she was Scottish.
Oh, she was Scottish, yeah.
And the other lead,
she's
who
Scottish,
he
wasn't
was the, I can't remember the name, the guy on the MC, basically.
The MC.
Yes, that was a hard thing to say, wasn't it? He was from Ireland.
Yeah,
And he had this brilliant German accent, didn't he?
Did you tell him about the louts? Should
No,
have said,
I just
well,
said
I've
they're
got
not
your
your friends, are you? You're not
I've got
going
your
to the
attention.
shuttle tomorrow, are you, by the way?
Your dad doesn't own a big camper, does he?
Yeah.
But no, so yeah, just that whole humbleness.
Yep.
I just love it.
Hello.
Right. Right. The thing I can't. This drives me
This
mad.
is number 4, is
Yeah,
it?
this is number 4, and this is something that people say to you all the time when you say, "Oh, we're moving." Well, when we used to say we're moving to New Zealand, they said it to us, and then when we say we live in New Zealand, they say it to us, and it is a big fat lie. Can you guess what it is, Bri?
No.
No idea.
I'd like to go to New Zealand or
No,
something.
no,
I don't really
no.
know. No.
Oh no, I couldn't leave the UK because of Europe. Because we can go to Europe anytime. We've got Europe on our doorstep and we can go whenever we want.
I know.
Lie. You can't.
No, you can't.
And you don't.
Yeah.
Actually, no, that's not true. You can,
Yeah.
but you don't. That's
Yeah.
what I meant to say.
You can get a cheap flight if you just want to take, I don't know, a pair of underpants in your pocket,
yeah.
and that's it, because you're not allowed any baggage. You know,
No.
you have baggage, and it's, there's another £100 for your baggage then, please.
Yeah.
Why? It's more expensive than my seat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just, isn't it, Bri? It's that
Yeah.
whole perception they have of like, we can just hop over. It's like us saying, oh, we can just hop over to Australia whenever we
Yeah.
feel like it. Yes, in theory we can.
Yeah.
But you don't.
Get your wallet out, though.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, I don't know. It's not cheap to do anything anymore because if you're going to do it, then you need insurance because you're not covered under the same insurance that you used to be when it was in the EU, So yeah, since Brexit, it's not that easy just to go over. It really isn't, and you can only go for 90 days. So long gone are the days when you could just go over and get a job in a bar in France or get a job in a bar in Greece.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about the whole Brexit
I know, but
thing. I'm just
that
saying
whole thing with Europe is just not there anymore.
But you can still go over.
Yeah,
but what I'm saying, Bri, is people who live in the UK make out that they've got this. It is on their doorstep, but they make out that they can just go 10 times a year if they want to, or I don't know. And it's not, like I say, I don't think it's true. And not unless you were really rich and you had loads of time. Because at the end of the day, you can only go to Europe on your 2-week holidays, or maybe you go once a year. Well, once a year is not enough. You can go once a year from New Zealand if you had lots of money.
No, it's like even just about where you live, and so it's like most people are at least an hour or so from an airport that'll take you to wherever it is you need to go in Europe. Like so say you want to go to Greece or something like that. So you're a couple of hours. You've got to book in 2 hours before now, so you're talking 4 hours there just to get to the airport, and then you're 4 hour flight. So it's 8 hours of the first day, and you're just nipping over for the weekend, are you? And it's just like, yeah, right. It just doesn't. It sounds that yes, it's on your doorstep, but it's not really, is it?
No. The thing I love about England is the way that the people. The way that the workers, mainly it's the workers, people who work for other people, they're always willing to do a bit of a dodgy deal, Bri. They're always willing. Have you noticed that?
This is something you like?
Yes, it is something I like. I love it.
Right.
Because when we went to that pub in Plymouth, the waitress came over, and I was with my family, and my sister-in-law said, "Oh, can I just have the kiddie portion? Because I'm not that hungry."
Yeah.
And the girl goes, "Yeah, of course you can." And she brings it over. She ordered mussels, didn't she?
Yeah. Mussels and frites.
Yeah, and she brought it over, and it was huge. And I just thought, I don't know, I love that whole... There's something about when you go into a shop, if it's not their business, they're willing to do you a bit of a deal. Like, oh, yeah, go on, I'll let you have that, or I'll do that for you.
Yeah, you're obviously over 16.
Yeah. Did you find that or not?
Yes, and I do know what you mean. Because if it's the business owner, then, sorry, that's for kids. You're not a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just like, oh, all right.
They're a bit goody two-shoes in New Zealand, aren't they?
They are a little bit, yes. Yeah.
And I miss just that, getting a little bit of a deal, just
but
getting a bit of
you can go to New Zealand and always ask for an extra plate.
No, I'm not talking about
that way.
I'm just talking about the whole attitude of, like the bus driver, go on, mate, just go on, nip on, on you get.
Yeah.
And they're just willing to let you do that.
Yeah.
And I miss it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just love it. I just love that about England.
I know. Yeah, I do like that.
Maybe because I'm a bit of a pikey at heart.
I think that's probably what it is. I think you would have liked to be in those campers.
I would.
Have a little way up against the hedge.
Right, okay, so that was that. And then, I wasn't going to mention this, but you have kind of mentioned it, but just the whole obsession with Brexit. Well, I think you're obsessed with it now because you've obviously mentioned it, so.
Do you know what? You talk to... It's 50-50. There's people that love Brexit and people that hate it.
I don't want to talk about whether...
I'm not going to talk about it neither.
No. But what I wanted to talk about was just it's like an obsession, Brian.
Yes.
With the whole country talking about it all the time.
Well, not everybody. Some people are just like, this is going to be great. It's going to take 5 or 6 years, but it's going to be so much better because we've got our own handle on ourselves, Some people are like, this is the worst thing that's ever happened because, there's no food on the shelves and this and that and the other. There is. It's just, it feels a bit weird in the supermarkets. You just go to them and they're like, there's a lot of space on the shelves nowadays. That never used to be like that. So obviously, it's just finding different things where you can get things from, But yeah.
I think as well, just... This is a really, really personal point, and this won't apply to anyone else probably.
Yeah.
Because we're so what's it called when you're not interested in politics? Non-political.
Non-political, really, like that.
I think it stood out this time when we went back because hadn't some leader just left? Oh yeah, the Prime Minister had
Boris
resigned.
Johnson had just resigned.
Yeah,
yes,
and so that was all a big talk, and I don't know. Maybe if we were in New Zealand and Jacinda had... I wouldn't care.
No, but one of the biggest problems with Brexit is they used to get, and this is what, when I was talking to someone, you kind of understand it a little bit then. This is what people are upset with, or not so much upset with. This is why the country is, not on the brink of breaking down, but not far off it. It's where you had all this cheap labour coming in from the likes of Poland and some of the Eastern Bloc countries, which are all European, so they've got every right in the world to come and work in your country.
Yeah.
But all the money they were earning, apart from spending it on a bit of rent and food, they were sending it back to their own country. So that's not good for the economy. It's like you work in a country, you spend the money in the country, you buy a house or buy whatever it is. But they were literally, apart from buying some cars and shipping them back to, Poland or wherever. I keep saying Poland, but I'm just saying Eastern Bloc countries. So once Brexit happened, they all went and left. So all those jobs that, these people, skilled people were doing, no one now is doing them. So you find a lot of things don't really work. Even down to ticket machines in car parks and stuff like that, and just general stuff.
Yeah, everything seemed quite broken,
didn't
didn't
seem
it?
to be working. It's like the infrastructure's there, but it's just no one's maintaining it because they don't have the workforce that they had 5 years ago. So that's the biggest problem.
So you can see why people are upset then, aren't you?
Of course you would be.
Can't you?
Yeah. Well, you know what it's like when it was hot. It was hot and the whole rail network shut down.
I think the thing that stands out though, Bri, is just, yes, Brexit, whether you're for it or against it or however you feel about it, but it's happened.
Yeah.
And it's like, keep going on about it and blaming and being angry. It's just, what
But that's
good is
what
that gonna
people do. It's easier to blame someone and keep blaming people to make you feel better, And it's not a good attitude to have. It's not a good mindset to have, that you just keep blaming people. So it's much easier when someone explains what the problem is than actually thinking,
I know,
what is it?
because- yeah.
It's bloody Brexit, bloody
Yeah.
and it's just like, oh, really?
Yeah.
It's, you all voted for it.
Yeah, I get
So-
it. I get that if something has affected your country, then you're going to be angry about it. But it's not like it's going to, it's not, it's just...
Talking about it's not going to do anything.
No.
Get into politics and change things if it's really bothering you that much, because, just having a go and being angry at everybody, it's just going to make it worse.
Did you
isn't it?
find that there was a lot of political unrest sort of thing with the people that you were around? Or
People, again,
I'm not talking about our family.
No,
I'm
I'm
just
not talking about the family neither. I'm just saying people want to blame people, Liz.
Yeah.
So they talk about it's the politician. It's not down to the one politician, is it? Like, that the country's keeled over. It really, really isn't. But it's just easy to keep blaming someone.
Oh, yeah.
know?
I don't know. I think because, like I say,
Yeah.
it was just very apparent, this whole just unrest of what's going on, and it was just...
It is. And a lot of it's blamed on Brexit, and then a lot of it is, just sort of blamed on COVID then as well, and the aftermath of that. And it's just like, it seems to just be one thing after the other. Oh, it's monkeypox now, and you're like, oh, geez.
Anyway, number 6, the thing
Yes.
that I did love, that I do
Yes.
love about England. We're going to get hammered for this, aren't we, Vi?
No. Yeah, but you're just saying it's our experience, isn't it? That's
Yeah.
all it is. Everybody's experience is different. So, but this is just what we saw as a snapshot in 4 weeks of being back in England.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing that I love, and you've just touched upon this at the moment earlier, was I do love the British willingness to just wait, stand nicely in a queue and just wait. It's nice, Brian.
Yes, I do. But when we're going back to the old Premier Inn, we're getting a good mention on this podcast,
Yeah,
the
they
Premier
are.
Inn.
Sponsored by the
Sponsored
Premier
by
Inn.
the yeah, even though it's not.
No.
And, we were sitting there in a queue, and, I'd ordered 2 ciders, 2 cheeky ciders for us to have while we were sitting there waiting for the Irish people to get tanked up.
Yeah.
So, and the woman behind the bar, she just goes, she just starts to pull the pint, then looks over to the side and goes, Strongbow's finished, as if like it's run out. So the barrel needs changing, but she wasn't going to go and change it.
I don't blame her.
Yeah,
That's
but
a man's job, isn't it?
No, it's not. It's really, it's like, it's any, if you're a bar person, then you know how to change a barrel. It's not hard. It's just a case of unhooking it and moving it over.
Still though, Bri.
But
Heavy,
anyway,
isn't it?
no, you don't move the barrel. You know,
don't you?
that should have been done by, that should be all ready for the day's.
So she didn't have to hoik the
stuff.
barrel
No,
onto her
because you have
shoulder.
3 barrels together. One's the used one, and then 2 next to each other. Unless you got to, you don't really start rolling them around.
So
unless
what?
you
She
have
was
to.
just giving you bad service?
No, so she just said, you'll have to wait, and so we had to wait for the bar manager guy to come back and then go in and change the barrel. But so he came in and she went, you go on that till over there. And so he went on that till, and then the people in the queue went over to that till. But he looked at me and went, what was it you were having again? Because I'm not being served as such. I've paid my money and everything. I said it was 2 Strongbos. And the woman kicked off.
What do you mean she kicked
So
off?
I've just been told to move over here. Now you're serving him.
Oh, the woman in the queue
In the
kicked
queue,
off.
kicked off. Yeah,
It's not very British.
So she didn't really
Was
wait
she from
very
the
nicely.
Irish family?
No, she wasn't. And I just said, well, actually, I've paid my money, and he's just been a good bar person, and actually, serving my drink now. He's put this thing. Oh, it's not a problem. It's not a problem. It's just, well,
sorry.
it sounded like it was a problem. Sorry.
Ooh, I bet
but
she
that's
wasn't
what I'm saying,
expecting
but
you to fire back at her like that, Brian.
Yeah, but it's just like, don't have a go at him, because he's just doing a really good job, actually, because he's serving me. Thank you.
When we took the kids back to Heathrow Airport, you have never seen anything like it. It was just absolutely horrific. Busy. And I'm not just talking a little bit busy,
but
was it,
this
Brian?
comes down to understaffing again.
Oh, well, whatever.
It
But
does,
anyway,
but
yeah,
I've
I
never
know.
seen anything like it, Liz.
It was heaving. How many millions of people would you say was in that terminal,
In
Brian?
that terminal, I would say there was probably 20,000 people.
Yeah. And they were all waiting to
Maybe not
either
20,000,
check
maybe
in.
10,000 people. It was a big terminal.
No,
but it was.
I was thinking more 1 million.
People were just queued like the longest queue you've ever seen.
I've never seen a queue
I've never
that
seen
long.
a queue in a hospital. I'm going to say then in an airport
No.
that long.
If you imagine a queue stretching the length of England,
Honestly, but the
was
Terminal
just-
5 is bigger than a football field. It's huge, it's a big terminal, as in the main communal area as you come in, and queues were going backwards and forwards across the whole place just to get into. This wasn't to get, and you couldn't walk in through some of the entrances. This was just to get through
customs.
Passport check,
Yeah.
and airport security. That's all it was for. You still had to queue up to get your bags checked in, didn't you?
But what I'm saying is it was just, it was almost like a dream. We turned up and I went over to this woman in this fluorescent jacket who was, working. And I just said, excuse me, is that the queue? And she said, yep. And you kind of like, for a minute, you think, well, I'm not joining that. And then you think, what option have you got?
Yeah. What else are you going to do?
You are going to join it because you want your kids, or your kids are going to join it because they want to fly back to New
They're
Zealand.
flying out in 4 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So two things. One, the willingness to queue and the way that people queue.
Everybody
think
was
people
well
queue
behaved.
nicely. Yes.
They really were well behaved. There was no shouting or anything like that. But then you're not going to shout in a British airport because you get banned from them all, then, don't you?
I don't know what were you going on about that.
Well, it wasn't me, but it's true. If you
who told us that?
If you get banned from that airport, that means you can never go to that airport again.
Why would you get banned?
Because you're being abusive to the staff. The staff are just there to do a job, aren't
Oh
they?
yeah, of course.
not
I
to
thought
be
you meant
abused.
just like if you were just
Oh,
shouting,
no, yeah,
like
but it's get me on that bloody plane.
Yeah.
It's just like.
Do you know what? I was stood in the queue with Tessa and Sonny and Finn, and they were just waiting. And like I say, mobbed, absolutely mobbed. Just imagine Disneyland on 10 million times worse than Disneyland. Absolutely mobbed full of people. And this guy in his fluorescent thing, and he looked like he was drowning, this guy that works there.
They were brilliant, the staff.
Oh, they were
Absolutely
absolutely
brilliant.
amazing, weren't they,
Yeah,
Brian?
Terminal 5, and most of them were
Yeah.
being pulled over from Terminal 4. And, it was just, I was talking to them in the lift and they were just saying, I'm going to take a sickie tomorrow. I'm not coming in. He said, I'm never coming back to this terminal.
Oh, really? Oh no, but they were doing a flipping brilliant job.
Yeah.
And this it just made me laugh because one guy came up and he said to him, mate, he goes, 50 quid. 50 quid to go to the front of the queue. And the guy
50
was,
quid?
yeah, and he's serious, O'Brien.
Yeah.
He had his wallet out. 50 quid to go to the front of the queue.
Yeah.
And he goes, sorry, sir, I can't do that. We can't take bribes. 100, mate. 100 goes, 100 will take me to the front of the queue.
So you'd have been like,
Oh, Brian, if someone had offered me £5, I'd have been like, come on,
mate.
let's see what we can do for you.
What is it? Let me have a look over here. You're bribing me. You've got to come over and see these people over here.
No, I liked it.
Straight to the front of the queue.
I liked it. I just thought it's orderly. It was just everyone chipped in. That's the other thing I love about Britain as well, is that feeling of, oh, we can do it.
Yeah, that goes back to like that war feeling of that camaraderie of people, and that's what they are doing. You can see it, and you have to take your hat off to them for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You really do.
What, like all clubbing together?
Yeah, they are clubbing together. They know it's not great at the moment, but they're just getting on with it.
Yeah.
It will get better. It really will.
My last thing, actually, before I say about the one last positive, but my one last negative, and I don't know if this is a worldwide thing. I don't even know if it says in New Zealand. I'm not sure.
What?
It's like a national sentence now that takes place, and that is called bloody nightmare.
Yeah.
Everything's a bloody nightmare. Did you notice?
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. It's bloody said a lot though.
Oh yeah. Well, I love the word bloody. Bloody's all right, but it's just bloody night. Actually, thinking about that, I think I say that a lot now. Yeah, let's scrap that one, Bri, because I use that all the time.
Yeah, but it seems to have got more popular since Harry Potter, wasn't it? When Ron used to say bloody hell all the time,
Yeah.
He really did, didn't he?
Yeah. I think what it was is I was listening on the plane. I was listening to one of these flipping self-help podcast things, and it was saying that the language that you use, like that you say to yourself, I can't remember what it was, but the language that you say to yourself has an effect on how you feel.
Of course it does. That's what I was saying about before. I'm having a shit day.
Yeah.
You keep saying that to yourself, and you'll keep having them.
Yeah, it's true,
you really,
isn't
really
it?
will, because you just think everything's bad.
And I think that was what it was, is it was stuck in my mind. And I went to this cafe, the cafe that you're talking about, the one that you said at the beginning of the show, where we had the BLT.
Yes.
That cafe.
Yeah.
We went to this cafe in this beautiful little village. It was the best cafe, honestly. We had a big gluten-free BLT, bacon, lettuce and tomato sandwich, and it was just divine. And all the cakes inside were lovely. Anyway, the waitress came out. She was only a young girl. She was only about 20.
Yeah.
And I said, I said, can you just tell the chef? I said, that was absolutely delicious, that sandwich. And she went, oh, I'll tell him. I said, all your food in there looks delicious. And she went, oh, it's a bloody nightmare working here. She said, all the time I just want to eat. It's a bloody nightmare. And I just laughed, I was like, oh. Just made me laugh. I just thought, it seems to be the thing, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Really, really does.
But before I want to go, the last thing that I want to say about the thing I miss about Britain, about England actually, is our family.
Yes.
I just miss family.
Yeah,
I really do.
That's what you go and see them for. I don't go back to sightsee Britain.
No.
I go back to see them. You do miss them. You miss them like crazy.
Yeah,
don't
you do. And when you say not sightseeing, what a beautiful country. What a beautiful country.
Yeah, it is.
You
There's
know,
so many amazing
we
things
went
there.
to so many places in England this time. We went to stay with friends in Hampshire, or was it near that? What was it called? Was it Hampshire?
It was the Hams. That's what I was saying. The South Hampshire. Yeah.
When you say the Hams, what does that mean?
Well, Hampshire Hams.
Oh right,
Yeah,
okay. I thought it was
the Hampshire Downs. That's in the fields and the hills and the.
And we've never been to that area before. Well, I haven't anyway. And I just thought it's just this is it.
Yeah.
This is when they say
that's like real England.
Beautiful England.
Yeah, Cambridgeshire as well. That was gorgeous, wasn't it?
It was just
thatched roofs.
Delightful,
and
wasn't
things.
it?
Yeah,
It was just flipping lovely.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I just couldn't get enough of it. I was driving along and the thatched cottages and the lanes and the...
And I tell you what, we got some good weather, didn't we?
Yeah.
We got some... It didn't rain. I think it rained once when we were there.
Yeah.
That was it. You
Yeah.
know. And we had some really stonkingly hot weather in London and hot weather in Cornwall. I just remember I did a drive. It was busy because all the roads were busy. And we came up to your brother's up in near Tavistock, wasn't it? And I was bringing Tess and Finlay up in the car. And we just went right up through the middle of Cornwall, through all the little twisty lanes. It took us 2 hours to get there, but it was such a beautiful drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really is. So, yeah. Would you want to move back there though, Brian?
No.
Try and say, I'll ask you again this time because we can cut that out that bit.
Yeah.
Just in case anyone's listening, their family or anything.
Yeah.
But just have a little pause before I say it again.
Yeah.
Would you like to move back there, Brian?
No.
Oh, yeah.
No, there's things you miss. You know.
I think I'd rather just visit.
Yes.
Just visit.
Yeah.
and
If I had to move back, then I'd go back.
Yeah.
It wouldn't bother
If
me.
I had all the money in the world, if I was like a billionaire, I would
Yeah.
just like to say to all the family, look, can we... Actually, no, do you know what I'd do? I was going to say I'd bring them all to New Zealand, but what I would do, I would buy like a really lovely place in France or Italy or Greece, like a massive big, gîte or a mansion or something. Not a mansion, but you know what I mean, like with loads of rooms, and they would all have their own...
Place.
Yeah, like their own apartments.
Yeah.
And
I'll just buy an old campsite and let them have little chalets.
Would you? So you bring your tent.
But you can only come for 90 days.
Yeah, but that's enough. That's plenty, isn't it?
It is. Yeah.
Right, so there you go then. So I know some people were saying about the, what we thought of England, and that is exactly what our experience was and what we thought. So hopefully that's given you a clearer picture.
Yes. And then the next one we're going to do, well, that's a different, we're going to do that on the NZ Ahead channel, aren't we?
We're going to be, remember as well, if you are moving to New Zealand. And
if you're still here.
Yes. Don't forget we've got our other podcast, NZ Ahead. It's all about moving to New Zealand and living in New Zealand. You might be listening to this podcast now and thinking, oh, well, how come you never talk about New Zealand anymore? That's because we moved all of our New Zealand stuff and we now put it on to NZ Ahead.
Apart from the drinking culture in New Zealand, that's the only thing we really mentioned.
What do you mean?
That's really bad.
No, I was just being honest.
I know.
You got to be honest, right?
I know.
Right, so until next time, our next podcast we're going to bring to you, we're going to be telling you all about house sitting, how we landed this house sitting job in Italy, how you go about house sitting and what it is, because lots of people have asked us about that. But until that time, take care, stay safe. Thank you so much for being with us, and I'll see you next time.
Yeah, so kia kaha, stay strong, kia u, stay true, and we'll see you next time.
Okay,
Go steady. Bye.
bye. Hi guys, this is Liz. If you're enjoying this podcast, then I'd love it if you considered signing up to my weekly email newsletter. This is a newsletter where I send out all the details of what's going on in our lives with the kids and with travel. And right now, I'm in the middle of writing a book about traveling the world with a family. And I share all the details, the good, the bad, and the absolute hilarious. I don't share this with anyone else, only the people that have committed and signed up to my email newsletter. If that sounds like something you would love to do and you'd like to get to know me better, then sign up after you've listened to this podcast by going to www.itsadrama.com/hello. That's www.itsadrama.com/hello. I really look forward to getting to know you better. Thank you so much for joining us this week on the podcast. We have loved having you here.
If you guys could subscribe to us on iTunes and leave us a 5-star review.
Oh yeah, that would be nice.
That would be absolutely amazing. And make sure to share the podcast with your friends.
And if you'd like to hop over to the blog, find one of the little boxes that ask you to drop your email. I will send you a newsletter every week letting you know when we've released our new podcast. That will go straight into your inbox. So it's www.itsadrama.com.
All right, guys, enjoy the rest of your day, and we will see you next week for another podcast.
Look forward to it. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.